on the plane say, what the fuck you thought I was gonna do?
Hey, when you go tell them about all the shit I did wrong, make sure you include all the shit I did good. Make sure you include that I was there when all these motherfuckers wasn't. And make sure you tell them that my love was more genuine than all this fake ass shit you got around you. You tell a motherfucker no one time and they forget about all the shit that you did for them. So before you tell them I said fuck you, make sure you tell them why I said fuck you. And make that fuck you stick.
This is Terrell Davis, better known as Atlanta rapper Ralo, a 30-year-old street legend whose words were captured in a leaked jail phone call would expose a truth that many in the streets had whispered about but never confirmed. And the consequences of snitching were devastating. His sister was shot 6 times in the neck while he sat helpless behind bars, unable to protect the family he claimed he was trying to save. But what exactly did Ralo say? And why would someone target his innocent sister in such a brutal way? Let me take you back to February 12, 1995, when Terrell Davis was born into the unforgiving streets of Atlanta, Georgia. Raised by a single mother alongside a sister and a brother, young Ralo's childhood was anything but easy. The family struggled, and like so many young black men in Atlanta's roughest neighborhoods, Ralo turned to the drug game as a means of survival. He didn't just dabble in it either. He went all in, moving weight, stacking paper, and building a reputation that would eventually become the foundation for his rap career.
Got the pack in. Shout out to Famerica, my brother JT. Shout out that boy Scooter. Yeah, I know it. The pack in. Famerica coming to the streets near you.
By 2015, Ralo had made a name for himself in Atlanta's underground. And his breakthrough came with the release of Can't Lie featuring Future, a track that Spin magazine would rank at number 65 on their list of every Future song from that year. The song's success opened doors that had previously been locked tight, and soon Ralo found himself signing deals with some of the biggest names in hip-hop. Gucci Mane's new 1017 Records, Birdman's Cash Money Records, and Young Scooter's Black Migo Gang. His mixtapes, particularly Famerican Gangster and Diary of the Streets, showcased his gritty, unfiltered approach to street rap, drawing heavily from his real-life experiences in the trenches.
Hey yo, Ralo, you got the streets on fire. One time for all my Muslim brothers out there, Allah's the greatest at all times. DJ Khaled, and of course the mixtape for America, doing it big in the streets.
But here's where things get interesting. See, even as his music career took off, even as he was signing major deals and building his brand, he continued running a massive drug operation. We're talking about a multi-million-dollar marijuana trafficking empire that spanned multiple states. For a while, it seemed like Ralo had figured out the impossible balance. He was making millions from his legitimate music career while simultaneously raking in even more from his illegal operations.
Worst investment you ever made?
I gotta say the rap game.
In fact, Ralo himself would later reveal that if he had never started rapping, he believes he would have accumulated $200 million from his drug enterprise alone. But the spotlight that came with fame proved to be his downfall, making it impossible for him to move in the shadows the way he once did. On April 10, 2018, Ralo's carefully constructed double life came crashing down at Atlanta's DeKalb Peachtree Airport when federal authorities arrested him.
Pilot. How do you get to the cargo hold from the main?
This is the police. We are sending a dog in if you do not open the door. Open it now.
They found approximately 444 pounds of marijuana valued at nearly $1 million on board his private plane. But the feds didn't stop there. The charges piled up: conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute marijuana, felony possession of a firearm, and money laundering. Initially, Ralo was denied bond because prosecutors suspected he was continuing to run his drug operation from behind bars, allegedly using an Apple Watch to coordinate deals even while incarcerated. The audacity of it was almost impressive, but it also showed the government exactly who they were dealing with. For months, Ralo fought his case from behind bars, maintaining his innocence, insisting he would beat the charges, and projecting the image of a street soldier who would never break under federal pressure. His supporters rallied around him. High-profile figures like Drake and Meek Mill advocated for his pardon in 2021, though their efforts ultimately failed. But then came June 6, 2018, just 2 months after his arrest. On this date, according to leaked paperwork that would surface 5 years later, Ralo participated in what's known as a proffer session with federal prosecutors. For those who don't know, a proffer session is when a defendant sits down with prosecutors and provides information in exchange for potential leniency in sentencing. It's often the first step toward cooperation, toward becoming what the streets call a snitch. The leaked documents detailed information Ralo allegedly provided about drug trafficking operations involving heroin, methamphetamine, marijuana, and even related shootings.
What about this shit on page 12, line 12 and 13, where it say he is cooperating against heroin, methamphetamine?
According to the paperwork, the information involved well-known people in this community, suggesting that Ralo had provided details about major players in Atlanta's drug game. And alongside these leaked documents came a jail phone call released by a longtime associate who had believed for 5 years that Ralo had remained loyal to the code. In this devastating conversation, Ralo essentially admits to making statements to prosecutors, though he frames it as a strategic move to secure a better deal for himself.
I had to make it look juicy for them. I had to act like these people was always my people.
But his justification cuts even deeper than the admission itself. He needed to get back to his family and take care of his business. In his mind, the traditional street code of silence was a luxury he couldn't afford when facing decades behind bars and a family that depended on him.
It's in black and white, bro. I'm reading your lawyer pleading on your behalf, trying to get this record sealed because of this information that you gave. You saying that you never said that you didn't do it, but you had me believing for 5 years that you kept it solid, dog.
But the most chilling part of that leaked phone call wasn't just Ralo's admission of cooperation. It was what he revealed about the price his family had paid for his decisions. In that conversation, with his voice heavy with pain and regret, Ralo mentioned that his sister had been shot 6 times in the neck while he was locked up. Ralo also referenced in that same call that his brother had been taken away, possibly implying arrest or death, and that his father had been lost. Timeline context suggests the shooting would have occurred sometime after his June 2018 cooperation, but before the 2023 leak, potentially in late 2018 or 2019 based on references in the conversation. But without official confirmation, we're left to piece together the puzzle from fragments, from hints dropped in phone calls, from whispers in the streets. What we do know for certain is that retaliation for cooperating with federal authorities is very real in the criminal underworld. The code against snitching isn't just some abstract street philosophy. It's enforced with violence, often directed not just at the person who cooperated, but at their loved ones as well. It's a tactic designed to send a message. Betrayal has consequences that extend far beyond the individual who broke the code. Your family pays, your friends pay. Everyone connected to you becomes a potential target. In March 2022, Ralo pled guilty to 6 counts and received a 97-month sentence, but with time served and good behavior credits, his actual remaining time was significantly reduced. The recommendation included 1 year in a halfway house followed by an ankle monitor. Some would say this reduced sentence is evidence that he did cooperate, that the government rewarded him for the information he provided. Others argue that marijuana cases, even large-scale conspiracy cases, often result in shorter sentences than cases involving harder drugs.
When Ralo was finally released on November 8, 2023, after serving nearly 6 years, he immediately dropped a track titled First Day Out.
The Ralo fam goon is at a federal prison. Ralo fam goon, tell the people, how does it feel to be out of the bed?
Hey, man, it feel good. No rats allowed, niggas. Time to business.
No rats allowed, bitch.
shit, I swear to God I will. Why you hanging with that dude that got your partner killed?
Signaling his intent to reclaim his position in the rap game. But the streets hadn't forgotten. What we also know is that violence continued to plague Ralo's family even after his release. In July 2025, his cousin, known as Ball or Coach Ball, was shot and killed in Atlanta. Shortly after that tragedy, Ralo mourned another family member, someone he described as his mans, my brother, who was also killed. In his public statements about these losses, Ralo expressed deep frustration at not being able to retaliate due to his post-prison constraints, suggesting that even on the outside, he remained a target, and his loved ones continued to pay the price for whatever had happened while he was locked up. The question that haunts this entire story is one of motive and consequence. If Ralo's sister really was shot 6 times because of his alleged cooperation with federal authorities, then we're looking at one of the most brutal examples of street justice being carried out against an innocent family member in recent hip-hop history. But here's where the story becomes even more complicated, because Ralo has vehemently and consistently denied that he cooperated with the federal government. In an Instagram post that came shortly after the leaks surfaced, Ralo swore by Allah that he never cooperated, stating, "I never told y'all one lie in my life, and I swear by Allah, I never cooperated with the federal government." He claimed that the paperwork originated from a prosecutor misconduct hearing, not from any cooperation agreement. According to Ralo, the documents were taken out of context, manipulated to make it appear as though he had snitched, when in reality he was fighting against prosecutorial overreach. He further argued that the people mentioned in the paperwork, including what he called his dog food plug and others allegedly involved in the incidents he supposedly discussed, were all deceased, making it impossible to verify the claims or for anyone to actually be harmed by the information. In Ralo's telling, he was being set up, framed by a system designed to make him look like a rat when he had actually maintained his loyalty to the code. Supporting voices emerged to back up Ralo's version of events. One of the most notable was 1090 Jake, who, in a Vlad TV interview, claimed that not only did Ralo never snitch, but he actually attempted to pay someone to take a fake charge on his behalf. According to this narrative, Ralo was so committed to protecting others that he was willing to spend money to create a false trail, to give the feds someone else to focus on, while keeping the real players out of harm's way. YSL Mondo, in another Vlad TV segment, carefully avoided direct commentary out of respect for Ralo as a Muslim brother, but acknowledged the incredibly complex street politics surrounding Ralo's reputation in Atlanta following the allegations. It was a diplomatic non-answer that spoke volumes about how divided the community had become over the question of Ralo's loyalty. But despite these defenses and Ralo's denials, the damage to his reputation was done. The streets operate on perception, and once the perception takes hold that someone cooperated with law enforcement, it's nearly impossible to fully erase that stain. And nowhere has this played out more publicly than in Ralo's ongoing beef with Young Thug and his family, a conflict that has exposed deep fractures in Atlanta's hip-hop community. The beef exploded into public view in late August 2025, when Ralo accused Young Thug of dividing Atlanta's rap community. According to Ralo, Thug had blacklisted multiple artists, including Rich Homie Quan, Gunna, and UFN Lucci, and had specifically influenced Lil Baby to cut ties with Ralo over what Ralo insisted were false snitching rumors. Ralo didn't just verbalize accusations either. He escalated the situation by exposing what he claimed was paperwork showing that Young Thug himself had provided information about murders to police. The response from Young Thug's camp was swift and brutal.
Yeah, Ralo said, he said, Thug made everybody not talk to me. Nah, they didn't want to talk to you anyways. My brother ain't didn't do that.
His sister came out swinging in a series of Instagram videos that quickly went viral, defending her brother fiercely and going directly at Ralo's credibility.
On the internet acting like y'all just harm my brother. You know for a fact y'all doing it because he can't come back to Atlanta.
In her view, people like Ralo were only talking tough, only making accusations and starting beefs because they knew Young Thug couldn't physically return to Atlanta due to the conditions of his release. She was essentially calling Ralo a coward, someone who would never dare to speak this way if Thug was free to move around the city.
Nigga, niggas gonna click up, niggas gonna do all this because they know he can't come back to Atlanta. That's the only thing it is, he can't come back here.
Ralo fired back, warning her to leave him alone and even stooping to mocking her appearance, which only added more fuel to an already blazing fire. The involvement of family members on both sides raised the stakes significantly, adding deeply personal dimensions to what was already a volatile situation rooted in accusations of betrayal and cooperation with authorities. This wasn't Ralo's first rodeo when it came to confronting snitching rumors either. He had previously pulled up on Boosie Badass to address similar allegations, an encounter that Ralo later said nearly escalated into violence but was ultimately resolved. The fact that Ralo felt compelled to physically confront people over these accusations shows how seriously he takes the damage to his reputation and how desperately he's trying to reclaim his credibility in the streets. But here's the brutal truth that emerges from all of this chaos. Whether Ralo actually cooperated or not, whether his sister was really shot as retaliation or for some other reason, we'll never know. The consequences have been catastrophic for everyone involved. Ralo has focused heavily on family since his release, reuniting with his daughter after 5 years apart in a prison visit in April 2023 that brought both of them to tears. He's described it as his soul being released, a moment of pure connection that reminded him why he made the choices he did. Upon his full release, he proposed to his girlfriend and has repeatedly highlighted how music allowed him to take care of his daughter through royalties even while incarcerated.
So what you say? You say yeah? You gotta say yeah. You say yeah. What you say? Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Albums like 97 Months and Welcome Home reflect his gratitude for hip-hop and his focus on providing for his family. He's credited peers like Lil Baby for providing $50,000 in support and has repeatedly stated that music is worth more than money when it comes to maintaining family stability. Do you also think Ralo snotched or got a lesser sentencing because of his marijuana charge? Let me know what you think in the comment section.
Real winners never get mad when they see another person win. Because if you won before, you know with prayer and building that you can win again. So when hate on a nigga, we salute. Because it's when it's your turn, because the table's turn, and it's your turn, don't look for the same shit in return, because I ain't gonna give it to you. The bag never come from hating and begging. The bag will always come from prayer and building. Amen. So listen, dog. Never hate on another motherfucker when they win it. Just salute them. And know that it's gonna be your turn in a minute. And we wait on our motherfucking turn. We stand in line. We be patient. But don't just be patient. You gotta pray, be patient, and still work.
Click on one of the cards on your screen to see more videos like this.